I've been putting this off, and I'm like, Samantha, just do it. So we did a lot of things to amp me up for this, and that is scrying with a mirror. I've talked about mirrors before. I don't like them very much. They feel portally and weird and scary to me, and no matter how I've really gotten past that, it's always a thing. And it's okay if you have things like that in your craft. That's cool. But for me personally, I really enjoy confronting my fears as much as possible and actually attempting things. So I have done mirror work before with in a classroom setting where I went to a class of vintage crystals and we did some different ways of scrying, which is really cool. I've also done scrying on my own with mirrors. Very much freaked me out. But one thing I have not done is kind of incorporated mirror work in a very specific mirror setting. Like mirrors in general just kind of freak me out. But I have from one of my grandmothers this beautiful antique handheld mirror. Got a little gunk on it. And I kind of wanted this at night because I've always done it at night before, and part of the whole facing your fear thing is kind of like recreating it. But the sun is kind of low in the sky, it's just dark enough, and I realized it'll be hard to film regardless, and maybe a little daylight will help me feel better about this. So I want to use this mirror specifically and see what I can find from it. I have a little bit of oil I have blessed. It's just standard olive oil that I use sometimes in rituals when I feel the need to. This I will be using to rub down the mirror with. Again, oil I have blessed. I also have incorporated some dragon's blood. You've seen this many a time. I have used it on me. I'll probably use it again on me. I also have a little bit of black candle for oomph protection, what have you, going on. And yeah, we're gonna attempt to scry with some specific things going on here. I am also going to exert out a huge amount of protection magic. I've already kind of done that earlier this morning because I knew today was going to be the day I was going to do this. Again, the light's kind of go in and out. I've already lit up the candles on my altar to kind of like let the space know we are doing some things, and honestly just a shit ton of prep work. Now, one of the things I did do, because it just makes me feel more powerful, is I got a little dolled up and ready. I curled my hair, I did my makeup, even though it's near the end of the day. That's kind of pointless at this point. But and I also have, where did it go? I put it on my altar for this reason. And I'm gonna put on my black lipstick to feel even more umphy, just to give myself confidence in all the ways. I think that's one thing if you're doing specific magic where you feel a little wibbly wobbly on, doing things like this to kind of feel more powerful, even if it seems kind of silly or superfluous, is important. And you know, using color magic, a little glamour magic, a little something to umph you up when you're feeling nervous about it is, yes, all the ways. So how I learned to scry with a mirror is, one, using the mirror as a bit of a portal. I'm going to use it to actually apply the black lipstick and look into it, and then the actual scrying will happen when I put a little oil onto the surface, that again, the oil I have blessed, onto the surface. I know some people incorporate herbs and stuff into their oils when they're trying to like look into stuff. They kind of get in the way for me when it comes to scrying, I guess. But again, something that's like, I want it to be there, but I don't want any one particular thing to focus on. I want a thing where my eyes can just kind of lose into it, and then I can see what comes up. And mostly what terrifies me when it comes to mirror scrying is I allow myself to kind of like lose focus as I'm scrying into it, seeing what my third eye can find, what I can see with the actual visions. Baby! Because I'm doing magic, so of course the black cat's gotta make an appearance. Say hi to the camera! Say hello. The mama, what you doing? Every time I sit down in here, she's always like, what you doing? The white cat? Don't give a fuck. Black cat needs to know what's happening. What was I saying? But always what freaks me out about mirror scrying specifically is when I feel like come out of seeing that, there are many times where I then suddenly focus on my reflection and I notice my reflection does something that I am not doing. So always kind of weirds me out in that way. But we're going to attempt to do this, put a little black lipstick, and then I will, I guess, let you guys know what I saw. So that went interesting. I was attempting to scry and look and see what was going on in the mirror for a good like 25-ish minutes. It was a little distracting at first. The cat would do something, a cat would come in. I also was kind of holding my poppet in my lap the entire time. It seemed appropriate. I don't know why. I had quite a bit of protection. I called in even my deities to really just make me feel first thing I will notice is, again, it did feel like about midway through that what I was looking at wasn't me. There was a lot of me focusing, and then suddenly as I was focusing I felt like there was a lot of focus with the candle in front of the mirror, and then suddenly the mirror behind it would go black entirely. Like I couldn't even see my reflection in it. Even if I tried to focus on my reflection, it was really hard to regain into that. So I feel like something got opened, which is cool. It definitely felt like I was asking what was in the mirror to show me what I needed to see, which was very interesting. A lot of asserting of, I have power, you might be scaring me, but I am asking to see some things, and you're just going to show that to me, show me what I want to see. So note-wise, what I saw was there was definitely a hallway, a dark hallway that popped up. There was this weird glow of something, and the first thing that popped in my head was bottle. I was like, that's a bottle? How is that a bottle? But there's a bottle. There was a hand kind of reaching across my face at one point, at which point I was like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? That's not what I want. And then 3 flames. I was asking to see anything to do with a possible soulmate, romantic connection, something. Like I was like, okay, so that was the general stuff, and then I asked very specifically, show me anything to do with a possible soul connection I'm supposed to meet here. I want to, you know, give me something to it. And that's when I grabbed the mirror off of just like staring at it and put it in front of the candle. And with that I got a name popped into my head immediately, which was interesting. There seemed to be a squiggle, and at first I was like, a handwriting? Like it looked like maybe that was how they signed their name, and instead, and then I went to snake, like it was a possible, like a snake going forward, which was interesting. And then I also saw a tree. Something was very like small, like almost seemed like a baby tree. It was very full though, like it was full of leaves, like midsummer time, like about to like give you some juicy apples in the fall, like a fully matured tree, just very small in a way, which I thought was also very interesting. I then closed out the mirror, was like, okay, we're done. I still have my candle lit on my altar. It's kind of like a, hey, what's going on here? But that is very, very interesting. There were a couple times where I felt like there was like a shadow over my shoulder, to which I would then just kind of reach more into like the primordial force that I come from, and that I can feel is connected to me right now. And I was just like, if you were here to be chill, you can, but cool, but no, otherwise you're not welcome. This is not a portal for anybody. This is for me to get certain questions and scry into. So that is what I got out of that. There were definitely a lot of times where I felt a little on edge still, like the fear was still an element in this. And honestly, at the end, like right now I feel a little shaky. I feel a little zapped of energy. It felt like it took quite a bit, which is interesting. It's not something I've naturally had going on with me before, but that is part of it. So yeah, that was a scrying experience. I might update you guys a little bit later. I think I'm gonna just close this video out here as part of this YouTuber vid. Let me know if you guys have seen some weird shit in mirrors. Have you attempted scrying with mirrors? What have you seen? Is it kind of like weird images like this that you get? Who knows? Maybe I will do an update video on if any of that stuff that popped up made sense to me at a later date. Comment all this lovely stuff down below. This is part of YouTuber, so I do new videos every single day in the month of October, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.